We go straight to our first story, and the Trades Union Congress, in solidarity with the Ghana Mine Workers Union, is set to embark on a massive demonstration next week, Tuesday, that's 9th of May, for what it describes as abuse of workers' rights by Chinese firm Sunon Asogli Power Ghana. This follows the expiry of an ultimatum given by the union for the company to reinstate the workers whose contracts were allegedly terminated on the basis that they joined the Ghana Mine Workers Union. General Secretary of the union, Abdul Mumin Bana, spoke earlier on Business Live.
We have given him all the support. We believe that he should be able to intervene in the matter, albeit that this matter, since it started, close to 3 months ago, Togbe Afede has been in this country. Togbe Afede is fully apprised of the issues. Unfortunately, he did not intervene at the time, or he did not intervene as quickly as we would have expected. Notwithstanding, he's made this overture. A meeting took place between the leaders of TUC and my good self and the National Chairman of the Mine Workers Union. He has indicated to us his preparedness to engage Sunon Asogli with a view to finding a more lasting solution to the matter. Barring that arrangement that we have with Togbe Afede, we believe that Tuesday, May 9th, we're proceeding with our actions. And so the expectation is that Togbe Afede, based on the conversations that took place between our good selves and him, will come back to us, hopefully on Monday. But like I said, the TUC and all its 23 affiliates, relying on its structures, have taken major decisions on this matter. We have planned to embark on this demonstration on Tuesday, May 9th. And as far as we are concerned, that arrangement holds. But if Togbe's intervention, and by extension, government and other individuals in our society are minded, and for that matter intervenes, why not? The trade unions are open to social dialogue. Matters around demonstrations, strikes will always become a matter of last resort. And so we are committed to the processes, but to the extent that Tuesday we do not hear anything positive, based on the interventions that are being made, our plans are well aligned and we'll embark on the demonstration.
Now, the Bank of Ghana is asking for a more comprehensive and consistent data by stakeholders in the fintech space to aid in monitoring the progress of financial inclusion. This, according to the bank, is essential to help measure gaps in inclusion and design appropriate evidence-based intervention. Speaking at a presentation and public engagement on the 2021 Ghana FinTech Report, Second Deputy Governor Elsie Awaju said both supply and demand side data are key to help achieve these objectives.
From the institutions that we've licensed to provide financial services, they will let us know on a granular basis how much of their services and products are serving who amongst the populace. And we believe this is a very important step forward that would guide not only our policy formulation, but also our regulatory and supervisory activities. So I have no doubt at all that just as many such efforts going on in Ghana, there are a lot of interventions towards financial inclusion, funded by all manner of development partners as well as government. And I have no doubt at all that there's a lot of data available in different parts of this country, in different institutions, all geared towards understanding the financial inclusion space. But what I believe we need going forward is a unified data system, it's a unified data architecture that helps us all interested in this space understand, first of all, connect our various databases to the extent possible, and then also all then be able to obtain information that is relevant to this course. This would also be data that's available for financial service providers themselves to also understand the various dynamics and help them to design more appropriate products and services going forward.
Now, the National Pensions Regulatory Authority, NPRA, says it's working to secure a decent future for workers after retirement. Bono Regional Manager William Ohinieje says the authority will prosecute institutions that continue to default in the payment of workers' pensions contributions. He issued the warning when he led a task force to visit some institutions in Sunyani. Precious Semevo has more in this report.
The NPRA task force to check payment of Senate and Tier 2 contributions of workers in Sunyani as part of the Workers' Day celebrations included Senate officials and some pension trustees. Penal Glory International School, like J. Adom Limited, showed receipt of up-to-date payment of all pension contributions of their workers. Muhammad Mubarak Ampofo is the financial controller of the construction company, J. Adom Limited.
We know our road construction. Because of delay in payment, we were having issues of paying the Tier 2. I spoke to my boss and we decided to pay up to date the amount we are owing from 2019 up to the current year, the current month, so that anyone who is attaining the retirement age can get their lump sum or their benefit from the Senate.
The team, however, detected that the Tier 2 payments in particular are in default at Baksod, Kasbi International School, Pribet Shopping Mall, Glamose Hotel, Maccheo Educational Complex, and Goel Filling Station near the Jubilee Park in Sunyani, whose manager Joe Bennett angrily drove off because the team did not pre-inform him of their visit. William Ohinieje is the Bono manager of the NPRA.
You have employed people here. They are working for you, you are getting profits. Just pay their contribution for them too is a problem. Anytime we come here, he'll give excuses. Just give you, insult you and go away just like that. You saw it to yourself. Don't be surprised when by next month you'll be prosecuted. This is not the first time. If he's not fighting for them, we will fight for the employees. This is Goyle, that same Goyle that was closed some time ago. Issues with NPA. It's having issues with NPRA too. So you can see the kind of person he is.
He said they will prosecute the defaulters after the window to correct the wrongs to secure a decent future for the workers.
The reason why we went out is to ascertain their pension contributions and to also appreciate them very well and to let people, the institutions that we have not visited, be aware that in fact we are moving henceforth from every institution. So if you are not contributing, you better start contributing. We met some people who knew or who knows that indeed they have defaulted and are ready to comply. We have given them up to the 14th day of the month. That's enrollment should be done and payment should be done as well. If they don't comply, we are going to prosecute them, as we indicated. The lists will be sent by close of this month.
Mr. J also urged workers to help them fight for their future.
If you are in an organization where your employer is not willing to contribute, just come to NPRA, just give us a clue. We will go there as we went today. We didn't give them any prior notice. So we have the right to check, make sure they comply.
Precious Semevo, Joy Business, Sunyani.
Now, the government of Kenya has disclosed plans to increase its trade volumes to Ghana by the end of the year. Statistics from the International Trade Center shows that Ghana's exports to Kenya in 2021 amounted to $4.16 million, while that of Kenya to Ghana was valued at $10.3 million. Now, speaking at the Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industry's time with the Ambassador Series, Kenyan High Commissioner to Ghana, Eliphas Baring, charged members of the chamber to consider Kenya as their trading destination in the areas of agriculture, manufacturing, and infrastructure to expand and enhance intra-Africa trade. The following report has more.
Edition of the Time with the Ambassador by the Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industry featured Kenya to enable its members discuss the business climate and opportunities in that part of Africa. Kenya's High Commissioner to Ghana, His Excellency Eliphas Baring, said it is imperative for Ghana and Kenya partner together in the area of trade to boost the essence of the African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement.
The countries are specific to be trade, we have a trade agreement between Kenya and Ghana. And that agreement is in place, which provides opportunity for any industry business to set up in either of those countries. And therefore, the responsibility and burden really remains with the private sector. We also members of the Africa Continental Free Trade Area. We are among the first that submitted our documentation and to ratify that document.
On his part, Second Vice President of the Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Stefan Mazan, stated that the engagement presents enormous benefits to its members who would want to explore and do business in Kenya.
We are confident that there are ample opportunities and prospects for Ghanaian businesses to partner with their Kenyan counterparts and leverage their expertise and experiences and reap the mutual benefits. Ladies and gentlemen, this initiative is critical to the success of AFTAG, and I encourage all stakeholders to embrace it fully. By working together, we can achieve the objectives of this initiative, promote inter-African trade, and strengthen the ties between our countries.
The Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industry Time with the Ambassador series is aimed at empowering its members leverage on the African Continental Free Trade Area to explore business opportunities in the African market.
We do some more stories now, and as part of activities to mark World Book Day, accounting and financial advisory firm KPMG has donated a variety of reading books to the Abelimpe No. 1 Basic School. Speaking to Joy Business after the ceremony, partner and head of advisory at KPMG, Andy Akoto, expressed the firm's commitment to ensuring sustainable growth in the country. The following report has more.
World Book Day was created by UNESCO in April 1995 to throw more light on reading and books. The celebration is marked in over 100 countries around the globe. Here in Ghana, accounting and financial advisory firm KPMG celebrated the day by donating reading materials to the Abelimpe No. 1 Basic School. Speaking at the ceremony, partner and head of advisory at KPMG, Andy Akoto, said his outfit is committed to ensuring the sustainable growth of the communities they operate in.
As we celebrate World Book Day, KPMG has chosen to symbolize the day by making a donation of some items, books, and their time to the Abelimpe Basic School. We see this as our own way of contributing to enhancing the impact of the Sustainable Development Goals, on which education is a very fundamental and key pillar. We believe by continuing to stay committed to our environment, we can in our own small way contribute to the achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals and enhance the communities in which we serve.
Expressing her utmost gratitude to KPMG for the support, head teacher of the school, Enyanam Dovolote, said the books will improve the reading skills of students.
This donation will go a long way to impact these kids because it will help them to broaden their horizon, to read more, and to become great future leaders of our nation, Mother Ghana. So we are so grateful to KPMG for embarking on this project.
Some of the students who spoke to Joy Business couldn't hide their excitement.
I will thank KPMG for donating books to us. I know the books they have donated will help us improve our English, improve our vocabulary.
I know that those who are not good at reading, spelling, and then talking in English, they'll be able to speak in English and they'll be able to write well.
The celebration, which was held on the theme, Reading to Connect Minds for Social Transformation, also saw staff of KPMG encourage students to develop proper reading habits.
Now, Solar Taxi Limited, one of the first transport management companies to have introduced electric vehicles into the Ghanaian transport sector, has been shortlisted for the inaugural Qualcomm Make in Africa mentorship program. The following report has more.
About 3 years ago, Solar Taxi Limited introduced the first set of electric vehicles into the Ghanaian transport sector. Being an initiative started by Kumasi High Foundation, the innovative program is seeking to create environmental, social, and economic impact in Ghanaian communities by harnessing renewable energy off the sun and using it to power vehicles. Arnold Anochia Martin is operations manager of Solar Taxi.
Talk about Benz, Rolls-Royce, Maserati, Ford. They are all, even Hammer has launched an EV Hammer. So it tells you all these companies will require batteries to power their vehicles. And most of them outsource it from different countries like China. I think somewhere late 2020, there was a shortage of battery packs because almost all these countries were demanding it from these battery pack producers. So this is
a team led by Christopher Mehoho dedicated themselves to a research design that has now become a battery park designed to solve the energy needs of cars and motorcycles in Ghana, with the potential of providing sustainable energy needs for the entire African continent. These innovative works by Solar Taxi is beginning to gain global recognition as the multinational corporation Qualcomm Technologies Incorporated, naming the Ghanaian company and 9 other startups to participate in the Make in Africa Startup Mentorship Program. Sudipto Roy is Vice President of Engineering at Qualcomm Technology Incorporated.
No, Qualcomm, like Elizabeth said, we are indeed fortunate that our technologies, basically, if you're using a connected computing device, you're using Qualcomm technologies, right? It's so I call it like one of the largest, least known companies in the world, right? Because you hear about those with more consumer brands and such, right? But you don't hear about Qualcomm. But this particular call we are having, if you're using a cell phone, if you're using a Wi-Fi router, if your vehicle is connected, right? These are all elements of Qualcomm technology. And the remarkable thing is that we make none of those, right? We are technology originators with design chips. We don't even make the chips that it is fabricated by somebody else. So in other words, it's in our DNA, obviously, to come up with foundational technology, but it's in our DNA to partners with others. Now, we've been very fortunate that throughout the roughly 4 decades of our existence, we have been able to partner with device manufacturers on both sides of the Pacific, both sides of the Atlantic, now increasingly in Vietnam and India. But the time for Africa is now. African startups are really good in areas like fintech, in education, in agri-tech, right? But the ability to make in Africa has to start now, right? And we believe that this is where we can add our efforts to that impetus, so that when young African entrepreneurs are thinking of how do I make a local design in Kenya or Ghana, in Nigeria or Rwanda, how do I do that? What kind of technology do we need? What are the best business practices that have worked elsewhere in the world? How do I protect my intellectual property that I develop? So these are all the questions that we can help and advise with.
Elizabeth Migwala, who serves as Vice President, Government Affairs at Qualcomm Incorporated, has dedicated the last 15 years of her life interacting directly with key government ministries, regulatory authorities, as well as international regulatory fora in order to drive the adoption of advanced broadband wireless technologies and services on the continent. She tells Joy News that digital innovation has the potential to transform African countries such as Ghana.
I got to the point where I believe that we could be more tangible in the sense that, that there is something that we could do, and the time was now. And having observed what Sudipto, my colleague, has done with other regions and other countries, and looking at what we have, I personally felt that, this was the time to do it in Africa. And actually, I felt that the potential for success was available at this time. And then the timing is really important. I mean, it's the technological development, but it's also the hunger and the quest for digital transformation. Every government you speak to is talking about digital transformation. And how do you do that if you're not transforming the way you do life? I mean, agriculture we do health, we do education, we do transportation, we do trade. But to transform that digitally is going to take innovation. And some of it doesn't have to be complex, but one just needs to do it. So in a way, we're global and thinking local. And for Africa, this is the focus now.
The Qualcomm Making Africa startups will receive equity-free mentorship in business planning, engineering, intellectual property, and many more. The program is the first of its kind in Africa and is designed to add to the continued growth of the continent's technology startup ecosystem.
Well, next is the stock market update with the head of trading at Republic Securities, Patrick Edemagama.
On the stock market this week, trades were recorded in 24 equities. Total volumes traded increased sharply by 765% week on week, largely on the back of MTN Ghana and Guinness Ghana Brewery Limited. MTN dominated trade volumes by 70%, whilst Guinness Ghana recorded 27% in volumes. This led to total trade values of about 10.2 million Ghana cedis. The composite index fell sharply by 290 basis points to close the week at a year-to-date of 9.28%. The financial stock index remained unchanged to close the week at a year-to-date of negative 14.34%. MTN was the sole loser this week, dropping by 4.75% in price to close at 1 cedi 20 pesos per share.
On that note, we end Prime Business tonight. But for more business news, you can log on to myjoyonline.com/business. I'm Beverly Broohm. I leave you with news making headlines on the international front.